Purchase an eligible new 30 to 450 horsepower Yamaha outboard and get up to 7 years of coverage protection, plus up to $500 in dealer credit, or earn up to $700 in dealer credit on eligible 2.5 to 25 horsepower models. Fall into savings today.
This week's weekly video fishing forecast, we are coming to you from Saltwater's Bait and Tackle in West Islip. Talking to Mike before, and I hear it's really hard to get diamond jigs right now. There's a lot of sand eels on the beach for you surf casters out there. So these guys have them. They've had a good selection of diamond jigs, as you can see right here. Sand eel bite is hot right now. So if you're looking for diamond jigs, you can't find them anywhere else, come to Saltwater's Bait and Tackle. They have a great selection. With that being said, also in this week's weekly video fishing forecast, we had the results from the View Striped Bass Tournament that took place on Election Day. A great story from Captain Al again. An open boat preview with Jenny, and we have reports and events from around the island.
The ultimate fishing authority in the Northeast, the Fisherman magazine.
Today's November 6, 2025, and this past Tuesday was the 36th year for the View Restaurant Striped Bass Tournament on Great River. Captain Jimmy Hahn has been running this event since it was an employee-only competition. This year was a milestone for Jimmy.
Extra special for me because I retired this year. 40 years running this restaurant, 36 years doing the tournament, and I'm getting on with life, and it's beautiful. The tournament is going to keep going on as Lessings wants it. It was always a Lessings employee fishing day at how it started, and it's going to keep going. And the embarrassing thing is they put my name on shirts. I had friends from Jersey calling, is he still alive? So my life's gone full circle. I met my wife in Florida running sport fishing boats, had my captain's license, I've kept it alive. And now 40 years later, I'm going to be going back to Sailfish Marina and running a charter boat again. It's crazy, it's gone full circle. After 11 grandkids, I don't know how long I'm going to stay down there, but I'll be down there quite a bit this winter, I think. And that's life.
Now that there is a slot for bass, the tournament has been using the real-time app that anglers use to register their catch by shooting video of them measuring their catch. There's also a category for the heaviest slot fish as well. This year's first place fish was caught by Mike Hogan. Michael and Anthony Gilberto took second and third place. The tournament will continue next year, as always, on Election Day. Let's check in with the weekend weather.
Yeah, Matt, looking at the weekend weather, well, it looks like it's going to be blowing pretty good, but if you're in the South Shore Bays, you might find a place to be able to hide and get out of the wind. Looks like the ocean is going to be off limits. The Western Sound looks like it may be fishable, and there's probably plenty of places there to hide out of that west wind. And then when you get out to Montauk, that's going to be rough. Doesn't look like there's many places to get out of that wind and waves. Remember, just to get the latest forecast from the National Weather Service before heading out. Back to you, Matt.
Now we're going to take a look at what you can expect in the digital edition of the Fisherman magazine that just came out this past Monday. Starting off our surf column, Gearing Up as We Age. Our inshore column, Jigging Smart in a Crowd. Our freshwater column, Wind and a Wall. And our tackle tip of the week, Tackle Care.
In the famed waters of Panama awaits a fishing experience like no other. Tropic Star Lodge welcomes anglers to get in on world-famous fishing action. Plan your perfect trip today. Tropic Star Lodge, the ultimate in fishing adventures for more than 60 years.
Next up, we have an open boat preview. The full episode on the open boat comes out this Sunday.
Stay tuned for this week's latest open boat adventure with Jenie Ackerman. From tackling new lures, hooking into the catch of the day, or learning something new about a species. Tune in every Sunday at 6 p.m. for Jenie's latest open boat episode. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and most importantly, catch 'em up.
Let's check in with the upcoming events from around the island. Starting off, November 22nd is the Steiger Craft Boats Open House. On November 30th is the Lindenhurst Fall Fishing Flea Market. And also on the 30th is the Tres Palms Fishing Tournament. The captain's meeting will be on November 26th. And for all the details on these events and more events from the Fisherman magazine, visit thefishermanmagazine.com/events. And this week with Captain Al, we have a story of him reminiscing on his world record weakfish.
Captain Al stories. Back, I guess it was in the late 80s, maybe 90-ish, somewhere around that time. I used to weakfish a lot, but I still love to bass fish. So one day I decided I'm going to go bass fishing, take my father with me, and a neighborhood kid, his name came up in another story, Ian Peverly, and I go net bunker. And by the way, I was the first guy up here in the Northeast to use a cast net. I learned down south, and so I netted bunker, and we're drifting bunker around in all the spots inside, and I come to the sore thumb, and the tide's ripping out. The three of us drop our bunkers down, and immediately all three hooked up. All right, we fight these fish, bring them up. They're not striped bass, they're weakfish. Each one was 15 pounds or over. Mine was the largest. It was weighed in after it spit the bunker out at 16.9. It's still the standing 30-pound line class world record. And the three of us at the same time, imagine that, 3 fish, 15 pounds or larger, weakfish on live bunker. But that was a great day of fishing.
We're coming down to the wire now. Let's get the latest on the Dreamboat and the Coastal Kayak Clash.
It is the first week in November, and here are the latest entries to the Dreamboat Fishing Challenge. From Jamesport, New York is Long Island subscriber Garrett Kraus, who weighed in at We Go Bait and Tackle, a 7.1 pound blackfish, which places Garrett 9th in the blackfish category. Up next and beating out last week's blackfish entry, his own by the way, is Long Island subscriber Rashawn Williams from Brooklyn, New York, weighing in at Snug Harbor Marina, a 13.16 pound blackfish, which places Rashawn first in the blackfish division and keeps him climbing the leaderboard. The leaderboard now stands like this: Rashawn Williams retaining first place and getting his points even higher with 28 points. Thomas Luciano maintaining second with 20 points. Ahmed Solomon holding third with 19 points. There were no new entries in the Coastal Kayak Clash this week, so the leaderboard remains the same. Rotha Nong has 6 points, Dustin Stevens in second with 6 points, and Bob Wagner in third place with 5 points.
And if you decide to participate in the Dreamboat contest or the Coastal Kayak Clash, read all the rules carefully, fill out your forms completely, and that includes length and girth measurements. Now let's get to our Around the Map segment. Starting off on the east end of the island, we have Jack McDonald from Southampton. He checked in and said he caught these striped bass from the Shinnecock area from the surf last week. Nice job, Jack. Moving on, Steve Leparati. He was fishing Shinnecock with live eels off his kayak. Biggest fish measured 42 inches. That was caught inside the bay. He said the fish fought hard and pulled enough to get his kayak moving. Talk about a Nantucket sleigh ride. RV checks in from the surf. He said a personal best, not with size fish, but with the amount of fish. He had 7 in the slot/over slot striped bass in 1 hour from the surf in the Napeague stretch. He said there were no birds, no boils, no signs of fish, but the fish were there. All of them were caught on 827 diamond jigs with white tubes on the back. That's fish roll from 28 to 36 plus inches. Moving on to the south shore of the island, Michael Pearson checks in. He took the pool, the blackfish pool that is, on Sunday aboard the King Cod. A green crab on a snafu rig did the trick for him in the ocean. Sergio Paban also checks in from the central south shore. Had a 30-inch striped bass on the beach side, that is. Nice fish, Sergio. That was in the early morning. Charlie Pace checks in from the Lindenhurst area. He got outside fishing on the Ragamuffin with his buddy Fonzie the other day. Said there's a lot of bait around, bunch of blow-ups. Stuck it out. It was a tough bite, but it did pay off. He got his personal best bass of 47 inches. Nice job, Charlie. It was on a Joe Baggs 5-inch sand eel on very light tackle. Fish was caught south of the Fire Island Light. Mike Ruiz also checks in from the surf. He had a 37-inch and a 31-inch slot bass, caught on A17 diamond jig. That was on the Robert Moses stretch. Scott Bronson also checks in off the Fire Island area. He said there were no blitzes, but a lot of birds. In the afternoon, 2 to 4:30, fish were spread out. Nobody was around us. That shows you got to get away from the other boats sometimes. Get away from the pack. You can still find fish. He was blind casting a Yozuri Hydro Minnow Monster Shot in the sand eel color. And he had this really nice bass to show for it. Nice job, Scott. Owen Carr also checks in from the Fire Island area in the ocean. He had 2 slot bass recently caught on white mojos trolled behind the boat. Grady Kolb also checks in. He's from the Bright Waters area, which we are right now, with his personal best striped bass caught in 25 feet of water right off the Fire Island Lighthouse. It was caught on a white Ronzé just before sunrise, and he was back home for breakfast. Nice job, Grady. Moving on to the north shore of the island, we got some tog reports for you. Kelly Cantello caught these nice blackfish in the western Long Island Sound. Then we're moving on to Paul Scarola. Had a couple hammer blackfish. One was 22 inches, really nice blackfish, Paul. And the other one, not much shorter, was 20 inches, caught near Execution Lighthouse. Then Stephen Messina checked in as well from the North Shore area. This striped bass, 30 inches, it was tagged, put a tag on it, and sent it on its way. Was caught in Cold Spring Harbor. Well done, Stephen, on that catch. And if you do have a notable catch, email me at mbroderick@thefisherman.com. I'll try and get it into the weekly video fishing forecast or the magazine.
Introducing the Yak Attack Sand Rig Surf Cart, the ultimate beach hauler for serious anglers. Glide effortlessly over soft sand with wide balloon wheels and lightweight, corrosion-resistant construction that's completely customizable with options. Whether it's rods, coolers, or tackle, haul it all with ease. Built by surf fishermen and engineered by Yak Attack.
Next up, we check in with our correspondents from all corners of the island with some great reports this week. And if you want to hop to a certain correspondent from a certain spot on the island, you can use the YouTube chapters feature to do so.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Still some stripers around off the beach and by boat. Obviously, with the wind patterns we've been having, it's a little tough. But when the wind laid down on Sunday, we got out. Fairly good number of bunker pods, nothing really too big, but we were able to land about 6 or 7 bass while we were out there. Mostly on live bunker, sort of a little bit of a blitz on the way back in, and we're able to throw docks and LBNs at them. Most of the fish were slots, 1 over and 1 or 2 shorts. So the beach has kind of had some fish there. They're not big, but they are around. The seaweed's been a little bit of an issue, but this, as much as the surf got churned up, that kind of brought a lot of that seaweed in because of the west wind, also has churned up the sand eels. So that's obviously very welcome, kind of sight for sore eyes, so to speak. So when they are in the sand eels, pretty simple. You want like needlefish, like this one from Gray Harbor, diamond jig, red, green, white tube. I really don't think it matters. And the almighty bucktail. So just kind of like keep it simple. We may only have a few more weeks of the bass kind of cruising the shores and the inlets here and just off the beach. So make it count. We'll see what happens after this wind pattern. Yesterday, before the wind really started to get cranking, was throwing a bucktail in the inlet and had some really good luck. All cookie cutter size fish in the slot range, but just happy to have them after it's been kind of a bit of a slow season. So with these sand eels around, know what to use and get out there and get them. All right, back to you, Matt.
As an outdoorsman in the Northeast, we are treated to so many amazing spectacles of nature, whether it's the storms along the beach, these stunning sunsets and sunrises. But right now, we are all taking advantage of a beautiful fall. The water is still on the warm side, but it's in the 50s. You know what I'm saying? I would imagine with this cold front that's coming down, it will be expected this weekend, we're going to really drop the water temp. So the shallow bite might switch up, and you might see these blackfish go a little deeper. But let's check it out and see right now what happens. We're coming off the full moon. The full moon has been spectacular for fishing. There's so much happening with the blackfish. It's all about the blackfish. Phil and I, we went out with one of our buddies, Paul, and just had a bang up day. It's so funny when we're on a different boat and people don't recognize us. There's so many different customers we have that we could see on other boats, you know, and it's great to see so many people out there enjoying themselves and creating these amazing memories, because we're in November, man, and that means that soon a lot of stuff's going to shut down. And even though the blackfish will be deep and active, with a lot of the boats that run, it's tough, and then the shore bite dies. But for the surf casters, there's absolutely fantastic opportunities on the South Shore and the North Shore for catching a beautiful bass, a personal best. You know, like right now we have an amazing squid run here in all the harbors, and no matter where you are, you really have a great opportunity. You go there in the evening. It's easy giveaway. You'll see people hanging out. They've got lights going on, and there's a lot of fun action. Just go down and check it out. It's really cool. And I learned something, because isn't it amazing what we have here in Long Island? We've got beautiful fresh mackerel. We've got lobsters. We have striped bass, blackfish. There's such an array of fish that we eat. Crabs, the blue crabs came back so amazingly. So we're seeing our waters get cleaner and cleaner each year, and that's a great sign. And then what we'll look for next year is another phase in the cycle. What we will see is that a lot of stuff is happening maybe several weeks behind what your normal patterns would see. So there's still plenty of time to get out there. Just have to watch the wind. It's all about the wind in the fall. But, you know, sitting on the boat, there's nothing more amazing than having a blustery day where you're in your bibs. You feel like a real fisherman, you know, like deadliest catch. And it's great. Everybody's like hanging out, having a great time and laughing and throwing jokes around and catching fish. And then you go back across to the other side of the sound, and you get some water sprayed. You just have great time, great laughs. It creates great camaraderie. And that's what fishing's all about. So get out there and enjoy yourself. There's plenty to do. And I'd have to say, until next week, I bid you all peace and tight lines.
For more than 20 years, anglers everywhere have come to know one thing, that nothing says no to fish bites.
Hello, Matt. Well, I'm at the beach again. I'm bound and determined to start learning some of this surf fishing because I got to learn a lot. Now, I came today because we're on a full moon tide, and it's actually going to be low tide when I'm getting out there, which is great because I could check it out, see the cuts, see the bars. It's a learning experience, and I enjoy it because I live here. But if I could have done it with a fly rod, I would. But it is howling wind today, out of the west. So, hey, it is what it is. But I want to get out and check things out and see for maybe other days. Who knows? I got my spinner rods, so hopefully I'll be able to, catch something. It doesn't matter. Now, I've been hearing the Shinnecock is still fishing pretty decent. They did get a little bit of rain this past week, so the water's still low, but the fish are responding. They did a high school class last week, and they actually did pretty good. They had a lot of the kids caught fish, and it's good to see kids out there. Now, as far as upstate, well, they're doing also pretty good. We do have water up there, but not a lot. We're still low for this time of year, but not bad. And the steelheading is really starting to kick off. A bunch of guys I know went over to the Lake Erie trips, and I got reports and photographs, and they're catching fish, and that's good because 3 weeks ago it was so low you couldn't even, the fish weren't there, but they got a lot of rain, and now the water's up and they're all catching fish, so that's good. New England is still doing pretty good. Saltwater, it's been hit and miss. Some days it's been good, and I've been here and I've seen fish caught, and other days it's not been great. But Montauk still is showing promise, so hopefully they'll come down my way this year. in a few weeks. But until next week, tie lines, Matt.
Captain Al here, Fire Island report. Weather looks dicey for the weekend. Wind, the rain, there's, a few hours spots here and there we could get out and hit it for, like I said, for a few hours in between the blow and whatever. But it's going to be a tough weekend weather-wise. But on the fishing front, the fish are there. Striped bass are basically everywhere around Fire Island Inlet and, on live bait, on plugs, you name it. I heard a guy snap jigging, had some fish. So that bodes well. On the blackfish front, also, season open. But, you got to really know your stuff around here. There's only, you got to have structure to catch a blackfish. And there's only so much structure in the Great South Bay around Fire Island Inlet. So, you can't expect too much. If you get there early, you find the spot, there might be a couple of decent keeper fish that moved in from the previous day. And you'll catch a couple, but don't expect any kind of crazy catches. And but that's it. But anyway, the fish are there. If the weather holds, we hope for the best and get out there, catch a couple, and talk to you next week.
Hey guys, thanks for having us. Nuno here from Tyalure. We dealt with a lot of wind this week. Looks like we're dealing with some coming up. So, you got to pick those weather windows. On Sunday and Monday when the weather was great, the fishing cooperated. Right now, two things we're targeting that are hot and heavy. Striped bass here locally in the Sound. Guys are catching them from shore. Guys are catching them on the boat. They're working the birds and stuff. A lot of schoolie-sized fish with a few slots in the mix. A couple of guys have reported some jumbo fish rolling, harder to catch, but they are here. Soft plastics have been king. Your Algag paddle tails. Anything with that 4 to 5 inch profile. We have many other brands in here that fit the bill also. Diamond jigs in that 1 to 3 ounce range have been super effective also, especially when the fish are holding a little deeper here and stuff. So striped bass fishing is peaking right now. We did hear of a few guys trolling, but it's easier to chase them with the birds because they're moving quicker. So the soft plastics and diamond jigs are the way to go. The other hot lick right now, blackfish, guys. The blackfish has been super hot here in the Sound 2 seasons now. The fish seem to have moved into a little deeper water in those 15 to 20 foot pockets and eventually probably go into even deeper water depending on the time and conditions. We're dealing with a lot of wind this season and stuff. Your green crabs have been great. Some of the local anglers here are using very small pieces of bloodworms and stuff, and they're also very effective. The other guys like to use some frozen shrimp, but your green crabs are your best bait around here. Guys, tight lines, we're open every day, still 7 to 7. We open year-round. We're going to be here through the holidays. We'll be here January, February, March. We are open year-round, guys. Tight lines.
At the edge of Long Island, where the ocean meets tradition, Montauk Anglers Club can be your boat's home and your gateway to legendary fishing. Whether you're a pro or just casting your first line, this is where memories are made. Join Montauk Anglers Club, where the catch of the day is just the beginning. Or go to montaukanglersclub.com for more information.
All right, we're on them again, and this time it's live bunker action. We found a bunker school, and we're changing it up. So live bunker right now. Ronnie's got a fish on. They all been over, so can't find any slots right now. But let's take a look at them. Show what we're looking at right now. What we could expect over here. All right. Bring him in. Grab the leader. Let's just deal with him.
You got a de-hooker?
But yeah, we decided to work the bunker schools right now. We've got some pods out here. The fleet's out here as well. So the word is out, full run. Full in effect. We did some blackfishing. The blackfishing was on the slow side. We hit the reef. A lot of small fish. Blackfish were mostly around 13 to 15 inch range. No keepers. So yeah, we switched over to bass, and looks like it paid off. All right, back to you.
Well, thank you all for tuning in this week to the weekly video fishing forecast. As you can see, the wind didn't stop a lot of people from getting out there and fishing, especially surf casters. When it blows, it's tough to get on the boat, but the surf is still very productive. You just got to up your weight in your diamond jigs. Think 827s, even 847s in some cases. Get out there. I know it's going to blow a little coming up, but it's still be fishable from the beach. Surf fishing is going on still right now. There's plenty of striped bass around. Get out there, catch some fish, and we'll see you next week.